guys, hope everybody's having a good day. I wanted to come on here and do kind of a follow-up video to the one that I did recently about what nerve is getting on your nerves. And today I wanted to talk specifically about carpal tunnel symptoms and carpal tunnel syndrome. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Heather. I am a certified hand therapist and an occupational therapist, and I specialize in the treatment of injuries in the upper extremity to get people back to doing the things that they love, and I do this in a holistic way. So I really try to look at the whole person, what they're doing in their life, what contributing factors are going on. I just don't treat the symptoms. So carpal tunnel symptoms or syndrome. I've been a hand therapist for about just over 20 years. So I've seen a lot of carpal tunnel, or a lot of things that look like carpal tunnel, okay? So the true definition of carpal tunnel is actually when the median nerve travels through the wrist, okay? The median nerve comes through this wrist. There's a little canal in there that median nerve travels through, and there's a bunch of other structures in that little canal. There's not a lot of room in there, all right? So when things get inflamed in there, that puts pressure on that median nerve. So the carpal tunnel diagnosis is when you're getting compression of the median nerve as it travels through this canal right here. Now you can have carpal tunnel symptoms without the nerve being compressed here, because the nerve starts up in your neck and goes all the way down into your hand. So a little anatomy, because I love anatomy. I've got my big, huge, heavy Netter book here, which weighs about a ton. And is really old and kind of falling apart, but I wanted to show you. So this is the median nerve path. So it starts up here in your neck. So envision a neck right here. Comes down through your armpit, down through your arm, down into your forearm. And then there's a carpal canal right in through there. And there's a ligament that crosses over this area that can also compress that nerve as well. That nerve, your median nerve, supplies the thumb, index finger, middle finger, and half of your ring finger. So that's how you know if it is your median nerve that's irritated. Is if those fingers are kind of cranky. So symptoms of carpal tunnel are that numbness and that tingling. People will end up like waking up multiple times throughout the night, having to shake out their hand because their hand has fallen asleep. And they're like, I gotta wake it up. They'll drop things. People say I drop things all the time. Some people may have kind of like a burning pain. And when that nerve gets really compressed and gets really irritated, you can actually have muscle weakness and atrophy of the muscles in your hand as well. So, but case example, I had a patient who was diagnosed with carpal tunnel syndrome because the nerve was definitely getting compressed in the wrist at the carpal canal. She had surgery. She had waited a really long time, years before she had it looked at. So it had gotten really bad. So she definitely needed the surgery. She got about 80% better with the surgery, but every time she would lay down and kind of come forward with her shoulders, she would get the symptoms again. So we worked on her posture. Her posture was a contributing factor. As soon as we kind of realigned everything up here and we stretched out the muscles we needed to, we strengthened the other muscles that needed to be strengthened, we did some manual stuff, her symptoms went completely away. So she had component of the wrist, so she had true carpal tunnel, but she also had carpal tunnel symptoms because the nerve was getting compressed up in her shoulder, okay? So that's why it's really important to look up and down and see where things are getting compressed. We put ourselves into crazy postures during the day. A lot of my musicians put themselves in really contorted postures, and we have to get out of those postures. If we're at a desk all day, we have to get out of those postures. So every so often you need to take breaks and come out and open yourself up. That's really important. You need to avoid resting your wrists on a hard desk edge or even on something soft that's still compression. Your nerve is really close to the surface, so any kind of compression can irritate that nerve. I have a great analogy from one of my favorite hand surgeons, Craig Radner. So I'm going to steal his analogy just to kind of talk about the health of a nerve. So he likens a nerve at the carpal canal here as like a piece of ziti. And really, if you think about it, anywhere in your body, you want your nerve nice and round and plump, okay? That's a sign of a healthy nerve. It's getting good blood flow, good oxygen, good nutrients, all right? What happens with compression or irritation of that nerve or inflammation of that nerve starts to get smushed, all right? Gets smush, 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 and eventually turns into a piece of linguine. Now, although linguine is good, not good for a nerve, all right? Nerves do not want to be smashed. A smashed nerve is a cranky nerve, okay? You want your nerves nice and plump, all right? That is the key. You want them nice and plump. They get good blood flow. Squished nerve, no good blood flow, all right? You get a squished nerve, you're gonna start to get those symptoms, all right? So the goal is to catch this early. You never wanna get to the point where you're like this, because then you're at the point where you have muscle contribution as well, and you're not getting the strength as well. So you want to make sure that you are treating things immediately and as soon as you can. You don't wanna wait years like my patient had waited, and I can't tell you how many patients I have had that had carpal tunnel symptoms for years and years and years, and they didn't do anything about it, and then it was too late. They had to go on for surgery. So I get carpal tunnel symptoms, okay? And my nerves get cranky very easily. And I just know that now. So I know that there's certain things that if my nerve acts up, I am doing something wrong. I have to step back and look at what am I doing? Am I resting my wrists on the edge of the desk, which is usually one of the problems. I'm usually doing this, all right? Or this, all right? Thinking a lot, gotta think a lot. So all those postures create tension and stress on that nerve. My posture, sometimes I get lazy and I hunch, all right? I slouch, tired, stress, okay? So I have to step back and assess what is going on. What are the contributing factors of what I am doing that are giving me these nerve symptoms? So I look back and I'm kind of, okay, so I need to go into my splint. And I know I talked about the splint in the first video. That helps a lot. I watch my positioning. I start doing some exercises that are specific for nerves. I start doing some postural things. I start looking at my energy and my stress level and make sure I balance all of that as well. And then my symptoms will go away. So I don't need to get injections. I don't need to take medications, and I don't need to have surgery, because I can manage my symptoms that I get when I get them, and I get them when I'm not doing the things that I should do. So that's kind of the key takeaway is, are you getting the symptoms because you're doing things that are contributing to these facts, to these issues? So you want to make sure that you look at that and really, really, really treat them. Get help before you, don't wait. Please don't wait, because it will make things worse later on. So if you have any questions, please comment below. I'm going to drop the link to the free ebook that I have. So if you know anybody that is suffering from any kind of nerve irritation in the upper extremity, please feel free to share this out, because the more people that have this knowledge, the better, that can kind of get on their path to helping themselves and getting the help that they need. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm happy to chat and get you on the right path, point you in the right direction, whatever that direction is. All right, have a great day.